Right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess Blonde Brunson is here to stay, 3-0 with the blonde top.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Blonde Brunson is no mythical character. Yeah, it's here to stay, and we performing well.
Till had said and made a big point a lot about if you tried to take him down, how difficult it was going to be, how much energy you would expend, and it didn't seem to turn out to be that difficult. How was it in the ring? You know, I mean, I saw you had the one good takedown defense there, but for the most part, it seemed like you got him down when you wanted to. How did he feel?
Well, that's anybody in the division. You know, it's about taking my time, really setting it up. You know, I wasn't out here lunging for takedowns. I was kind of setting my takedowns up. It was predicating off their striking and overzealousness. So it's just about maturing and focusing on my wrestling in the camp, how to really make it effortless.
In the third round when he hit you with that left hand, how bad was it?
It wasn't that bad, man. I'm like, can everybody shut up? And Darren, Till, can you stop swarming me right now? I'm not really that hurt, you know. But whenever a guy think they got you really, really hurt, they're gonna, you know, go really strong. But at the same time, I'm trying to like bob and weave punches and really like slow the onslaught down.
What do you think would be the difference if you mentioned Izzy in the cage, right? What would be the difference this time compared to last time? You know, obviously it wasn't your best performance the last time out. What do you think you would do different if you saw him now that you've been in there with him once?
Just really, you know, taking my time. This camp, I wasn't as sharp as I like to be able to stand up. You know, my stand up is a lot better than I was able to show it tonight. You know, I was able to get a few things off on the feet. Came with, you know, uppercut, and I saw some openings. You know, but I like to be sharper. I was injured for like the last 3 weeks of this camp. So I think with that time to spar and really prepare, then my stand-up is looking really good, and I can really pose a threat to Izzy on the feet and definitely on the ground.
And just, you know, to get you to comment on Till, when you look at him as a guy in the division, I mean, you know, he's got a lot of hype. He's, you know, highly ranked, and yet he's lost 4 out of his last 5. Do you see this guy being a threat if he can make a few adjustments? And do you think that Darren Till is a guy that kind of can do what you did and get things turned around and come back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel bad for Till. You know, I actually like the guy. You know, I feel he's like a badass kid. You know, says like edgy things on Twitter, Instagram, but I think overall he's like a good person. You know what I mean? He's like really funny. You know, so yeah, I think the guy can, you know, pull it together. It's small things. You know, he's really explosive, really good on the feet. He has really good feints, very confident. It's just the small things that he need to adjust, you know. Even maybe, you know, thinking about 170 or just maybe fine-tuning some of the wrestling things or some of the defenses, because if he's able to keep it on the feet, he can do a lot better.
And last for me, you said in a cage, you know, you're not broke. But you know, when you mention you're not broke, I think of Jarrah Cannonier, of course. And it's going to be a while before, you know, they fight and then for you to get in there. So would you consider Cannonier to, you know, because you may not even move up in the rankings, right? You fought somebody below you. You may not move up. Do you feel like if they came to you and said, hey, we want you to fight Cannonier, would you be interested in that or no?
I mean, I can use a tune-up with one of the Jake Paul brothers or something. Maybe Dana White will loan me to, like, the Thriller. I can fight one of those guys. Or maybe I can wait till Israel and Whitaker fight in, you know, early next year and fight in March or April, you know. We have some options, you know. Cannonier isn't completely off the table. I've been adamant about asking for, like, the toughest guys in the division. And I asked for Paul Acosta. The UFC sent him a contract. He didn't sign it, you know. So if I would have got that fight, I would have been definitely next for the title. So, you know, I'm doing all this work. I definitely want to be rewarded. I've never got a title shot in my career.
Thank you.
Derek, I just want to follow up on Kevin's question about Darren's ability. Did you know his takedown defense was going to be that good, or did you kind of judge it correctly? How did you even rate his takedown defense?
His takedown defense was okay. You know, he did a good job of digging those underhooks. You know, I got pretty good finishes, you know, with the chain wrestling, like just really attacking. So I can't really say his takedown defense was really bad. I just chained together attacks really good. So, you know, I kind of know what it takes to take somebody down. So, you know, it's some things that he can look back and he can improve on and work on those things and you know, be better for his fights going forward.
I'm just curious, as you said, he can turn things around and climb the rankings, but where would you rank him right now in the middleweight division? Do you think he's just got some holes in his game that are going to make him struggle, or do you think he's as good as some of the other guys?
No, he's as good as some of the other guys. You know, him and Whitaker had a pretty decently close fight. I mean, he dropped Robert Whitaker in their fight, you know. So, yeah, man, they went 5 rounds, and nobody got finished there. You know, I was able to impose my will and get the finish. So you definitely have to take something from that fact that Whitaker's fighting for a title, and his last fight was against Whitaker, and it went 5 rounds. He had some good moments in that fight.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You mentioned having injuries in your camp, and was wondering if you could elaborate that and kind of explain, how that affected your camp and maybe even a little bit in this fight.
Yeah, I had a rib injury. I thought I broke my ribs. Like this, I got kicked in the ribs like really hard with someone's toe. This guy was about 240, so it was kind of like a bad thing sparring with somebody so heavy when I'm really getting my body down to like my fight weight. I'm getting ready to compete. But yeah, man, I thought I broke my ribs, and the last 3 weeks to the camp, I couldn't spar. I had to kind of do conditioning, hit pads. I took a whole week off, so I only really had like 2 weeks to prepare. So yeah, it was a little tough, but that's a part of the fight game. We were confident with what we were doing and kind of relying on that.
There was no hesitation taking the fight due to that injury?
Yeah, it was close. I mean, it was thought about. It was like, can we push this fight back, or where are we at with this fight? Because his injury is pretty bad. It pretty much stopped my training camp. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.